and whenever you are, and welcome back, finally, after 2 weeks away, back to Icewind Dale and to continue our Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign. Mr. Hatbeard, hello. And Hans Newby, thank you for the follow. And Plot Points 5e as well, thank you so much for following while we were getting started there. Welcome, welcome. Now, as always, let me say a big thank you to the VOD squad, be they here on Twitch or recently a few more friendly followers coming along on the VODs over on YouTube as well. We are very happy to have you come along and share our story with us whenever you have the chance. And another big thanks to Syrinscape for providing the tools and sounds and effects that you'll be hearing with the audio soundscape tonight. And also, they are backed up and added to with awesome music from Dark Fantasy Studio. And then over on YouTube, the channels RPG Music Maker Travis Savoy and also Epic Journey, with recently a new source of wonderful music found over on Patreon, Will Savino. Check the YouTube video for the details down in the description. Now, it's been a while, and our Tabaxi friend here, Soyala, has recently joined the party. So, let me recap our story so far, briefly. Sorry. Having met in the small Icewind Dale town of Goodmead, you leapt to its defense after an agent of the Frostmaiden, the cold-hearted killer Sefik Caltro, came to town. And then, once again, when the speaker was killed by a rampaging Verbeeg half-giant. Your swift and efficient responses meant that semi-long-term resident Tuln, our mostly mechanical friend who will be with us very shortly, was put in the running to be the new leader, the new speaker of Goodmead, being intrinsically involved with the brewing process and the people of the town. Being advised that bolstering your chances in the election would be best sought after by securing ties in the region, you investigated the town's recently suspiciously silent neighbor, Dugan's Hall. You discovered Mame's friends there, trapped in their homes by a marauding mutant, and defeating it, discovered certain similarities in its construction to your friend, Tom. You also investigated the local stone circle, making contact with an ancient elemental being called Thrun, who spoke of defeating the Frostmaiden and returning summer to this cursed land. Heading on to East Haven, you went in search of missing fishers, only to find a vicious lake hag with ties to Mockingbird's mysterious, forgotten past. Back in town, things weren't much better. A bungled seance calling on the White Lady of Lac Dinashir left a local dead, and Durgar raiders invaded the small town's hall to make off with the strange dark crystal that was being kept there. You thwarted a second group of thieves, but lost a new ally, the drow, Birel, who had brought the good news that some of Mame's university colleagues who had joined her on the archaeological expedition that they led over the mountains of the spine of the world, they were still alive, but trapped out at a strange upside-down tower out somewhere in the tundra. But it was not all bad news, as in the town of East Haven you met your new ally and travelling companion, Soyala, the Tabaxi cleric. And it is with her that you find yourselves having travelled out to Caer Connic to investigate similar stories of invisible thieves in the small fishing town. And speaking of our dearly departed Birel, Thank you very much, Questionkeys UK, who guested with us to do that, for that lovely, lovely sub there. Thank you so much, Patch. Good to have you around. Now, Mockingbird, you were not with us last time, so you missed the rather dramatic introduction to Caer Konig's speaker as he erupted from a nearby snowdrift, seemingly coming to consciousness after a afternoon in the bottle, because it is this kind of early evening when you arrived in this part of the world. Although, you know, in this dark times... Thank you, Alicia. In these dark times, you know, it always feels like evening everywhere, really. I mean, even lunchtime is still twilight at best. So, let us return to the streets of Caer Konig as speaker Trovus, the silver heritage dragonborn, erupts from the snow. Who goes there? Is it those thieves? He came at you brandishing his empty wine bottle, and Tom quickly calmed him down and assured him that whilst you were not the thieves, surely you could work together and bring them to justice. So, let us jump straight back in where we left off. You are here on the streets of Caer Konig with Speaker Trovus slightly unsteadily standing before you.
I'm sorry about my ill manners there. Welcome to Caer Konig. The ferry's not working with the ice. How did you come to our little corner of the dale?
I just gesture at our sled with my wounded arm, just like,
Lager, Imperial IPA,
this means.
Bon Jovi, who obligingly
The boys.
lifts his head up. He hasn't learned how to do the living on a prayer bit. Not yet, sorry. He's working on it.
In time.
All in good time.
He needs to pick up the bard class, I think.
Well, they have all these new rules for sidekicks, right? I think we could stat out Bon Jovi and give him some levels in Bard. Okay, so... so yes.
He's like, no, fine beasts.
He kind of unsteadily looks at you all in an appraising eye. He's like,
adventurous. I was an adventurer once myself. Those days are long behind me, but there was this time. There was this big ogre blocking a bridge, demanding tribute for people to cross it, and they asked me to deal with it. And I tossed that oaf on his ass and knocked him in the water, and watched as he sailed off down the river, yelling curses at me all the way.
I'm gonna look to the hole that he sort of burst out from and just comment. Seems like the adventuring retirement plan is quite interesting. How long have you been speaker here, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, a good while now. I helped out the town a few times. Seems like if you save a town in a spot of bother, they're quite pleased to hire you into being the speaker. Camera
Yeah, I
zooms
think
in on Tom.
we've experienced that. Yeah.
he's like, ooh. Know that one.
So, you mentioned something about invisible thieves. I assume
yes.
that's not just some sort of morning, shall I say, confusion, or whatever time of day it is. That's actually a problem that you have?
Yeah, early evening, actually. Let me bring you over to this fair town while we're here. I've added a few landmarks, which you'll if not already aware of, will know of very shortly. Let me get that sorted there. So, you were kind of you came in from the Cardinaval road there, so you're just off to the side of you where Trovus emerged from suddenly. There are the snow-covered ruins of the castle that was here. Now, down back in Cardinaval, you saw it was still standing and a very dramatic, nice-looking structure. Actually, did I make that handout? I meant to make that handout. I don't think I did. I'm just cursed to never having that handout for you. Oh, here we go. The cares. Yeah, there we go. This beautiful animated. I showed it to you in the chat. Eh? This beautiful animated image of Cardinaval was released about 2 days after that session. Everyone, check out James RPG Art on Patreon. Very well known for his Curse of Strahd animated images, which you will see on lots of Curse of Strahd streams across the internets, and some official ones too. I think we have an incoming Toln. I see him in Roll20. I'll be ready to switch over the oh, there he is. Go! Is he going to put us in the right place? And action. I think it's just me and him that are the wrong way around. Oh no. Camera on. And there he is. Welcome.
There I am. It's me.
Hello.
The incumbent speaker of Good Mead himself.
Not quite yet.
Not quite. Okay. It's a given, surely.
We'll see.
Yes. All your charm and charisma and just oozing personality.
It's
Well, that might be engine oil. I'm not sure.
Charisma. Yes, that's my high stat.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. Okay.
Good to be here.
Yeah. Everyone's waiting in chat for you.
Hello, everyone in chat. It's me.
There he is. There he is. And we jumped straight back in where we left off with Trovus bursting out of the snow. And I was just about to show this lovely image to the good people that I showed you in the chat.
I will be leveling up, so...
Oh yeah, enjoy. Excuse the last minute notice. As I thought, hey, that would be a good idea. Here it comes. Beautiful Cardinaval, which we passed through for about 2 seconds.
Ooh.
Isn't it gorgeous? I love this one.
That
So
looks
that's
very
what
nice.
that's what the castle here also used to look like before Orc Raiders busted up. Something rotten. And that's where you had lunch. The place just down to the left of the castle there. He said, pointing at the screen that nobody can see. Excuse me. So yeah, you had your spicy chowder at that tavern up there. The what was it called? I can't remember. It was something like something about the long climb or something up to. You had to climb up to it up by the castle. Anyway, passing through Cardinaval here, you have found yourselves in Caerconic. So let's come back to that. Boop. So you are here up by the speaker's house, with Trovus having erupted within spitting distance of his own house. Has erupted from this snowbank. But you would know, certainly Mame and Toln, I think, with your readings and such, and Soyala with your medical background, you would know that his Silver Dragon heritage makes him quite okay with the cold. And he's having no problem hanging out here with you, talking with you as well. Toln, you're actually feeling it a bit. Everyone else with their various magic items and bits and bobs are quite okay with the cold, but it is rather chilly as you find yourself here in these white snow-covered slopes of the town, as it kind of goes down in those concentric rings down to the lake shore down here, where where the jetties and the old docks are all busted up and warped by the effects of the ice that has set in around here. Let me turn that around a bit there. There we go. And you can see the frozen lake stretching out into the distance, and these various steep-roofed houses clustered around this little natural harbour where they built this town, which originally, Soyala, you would have heard talk of this. Originally, this was a mountaineering camp, because if you look the other way, which is not on this map, so I won't bother moving it, you can see the vast mass of the mountain of Kelvin's Cairn, this singular Mount Fuji-esque, as we're or in Japan. This Mount Fuji-esque mountain that is, as large as the Spine of the World mountains, but plonked on its own with its jagged peaks and snow-bound cap rising up out of the frozen wastes of Iceland Dale. And you know that down at the base of that is where the Dwarven Valley is, where Toln has spent a little time from time to time. And
Time to time.
yes, time to time. So yeah, this Cairconic started as a camp for the group of mountaineers that were down from the Moonsea region originally, but then it grew and a wooden palisade was added, and then the castle as well, but neither fared very well against the orcs, and they were both destroyed, unfortunately. But now we have this little town of terraced rows of houses that recede down to the shore there like an amphitheatre, and you can see that Trovus has started walking across the streets, through the streets there, and he's like, come, let's get out of this, shall we? Follow me. And he makes his way around that top ring of roads there from his own house, moving around to the eastern side of the town, where we can see, but you are as yet unaware, the Northern Light is situated, which is the town's tavern. Now, is there anything you would like to say as you're making this little walk?
Is just thinking, this man fell asleep in the snow when his house is right there. How drunk was he?
While invisible thieves are afoot, one would think that a locked abode would do him well.
Are you having this conversation in your minds?
No, I'm not.
I mean, we could.
You could indeed, with these little gifts that the lake hag
Yes.
gave you.
We can.
Yes.
I will be doing it telepathically.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Me
Yes.
too.
Dear viewers, Mame and Mockingbird are part of a flock of the lake hag's little birds. And both of them have some sort of symbiote creature, a la the thing that goes in the ear and Wrath of Khan. Hey, something like that. That's an auspicious name for today, perhaps. I'm just going to put that there. You have been given this gift. And it has given you strange powers, which you are not fully aware of maybe yet, and you are still trying to figure out. And an understanding of abyssal? Is that right? Is it abyssal?
Oh yeah.
No,
Deep speech.
Deep speech, sorry, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Excuse me. So,
Because Toln recognized it.
that's right. Okay. So yeah, anything from you as we're walking around?
Just keeping an eye on my
Sorry, somebody.
surroundings.
Yeah. Okay. You can see there's a few people, scurrying through, not out of fear or anything, just because of the inhospitable weather. Just your average dash from door to door.
I assume this town is quite standard when it comes to pickpocketing rules. Not like
We are back to
our last-
normal, normal law and order, as such
Gosh
as it is.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
this is a small village. It's about 150 people. So Trovus is continuing to regale you with stories of his adventuring days. And he's like,
And then there was this time when I went into this cave system and it was infested with those little cobalt fellas. And I convinced them that I was a dragon in humanoid form. And they worshipped me for several 10 days.
You stayed in that cave for 10 days. Or
Oh, no,
over
no,
10
no, no.
days.
No, he said several 10 days.
Yeah.
No, they followed me on my adventures. Quite useful, decent meat shield.
Oh, what separated you, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, they got killed off. Not very strong, those little fellas. I kind of miss them.
I'm very sorry for your loss. It sounds horrible. If you need somebody to talk to, Holm is here.
Very charismatic.
Yes, incredibly.
Mm.
Very soft and buttery on the inside.
In
He
spades.
just loves to open up.
Ah, here we are.
And you make your way around and you arrive at the Northern Lights Inn around the other side of town. And you see this icicle bedecked roof line and a nice warm light coming from inside, though. But you do see a rather lonely looking hook above the door, which looks like something should have been there. There should have been something hanging there. It's very, very prominent, but there is, alas, nothing to be seen. So, let's see here, excuse me. Yes, so Trovus is, as he's leading you towards the door, he's like,
Yes, the town has had some thievery troubles. No one's seen anything, really. Just the other night, and he gestures up above the door, the lantern up here at the Northern Light was stolen. Corey won't let me hear the end of it because I haven't been able to find those responsible. Not yet, anyway. I have a
What
knack
typically
for this
gets
stuff.
stolen?
I'm sorry?
What typically gets stolen, if you don't mind my asking? Is it always lanterns?
Oh, no. This was a magic lantern that was hanging here, so we're sad to lose a landmark of the town. What else? Oh, they also lost a pair of goats. And, over at, Frozen Fire Expeditions, the mountaineering and outdoor gear shop. They lost some pearls. Black pearls they were.
I'm gonna look towards the more intellectual members of our group. Does that sound like any sort of ingredient list to you, or is that just random?
What do you think, Soyala?
I mean, I'm not
Put
quite
our minds together
familiar
here.
with using pearls, but I know that there can be magical means.
Were they actually
that use
pearls?
Pearls.
Pearls.
Black pearls.
Yeah.
You know what else was black and shiny? The thing that we found inside that creature, and the things that the Dwergar were trying to steal. Maybe they weren't pearls.
They also
It's
took a
related
very
to magic, I would guess.
They took a very important magic lantern from this town's tavern, so I would think this is top priority for the list.
The pearls might be worth something. I'm gonna whisper that to myself.
What exactly did the magic lantern do?
asking Trovus.
Yeah.
That was just a decorative thing. It was, just changed colors, just many swirling different colors all the time. Quite beautiful.
Can I think of anything that might be that's actually more than that?
Give me an Arcana check. As you duck inside.
Only a 13.
Afraid not. And you come inside here and you see quite a lot of the townsfolk seem to have gathered here in the evening as the evening wears on. People eating their dinner, sharing a drink after, eking out the day's living and doing the ice fishing and the various, bits and bobs that were their work for the day. And as you make your way in, whilst they're busy and running the place, the owners do make eye contact and say hi, hello, as you see a young woman looks up as you enter, and she gives Trovus a chastising smile and says, "Oh, did you fall asleep outside again? I'm telling you, Trovus, one day you're going to have to stop relying on the kindness of strangers." And she opens the door into what looks like a kitchen out back and calls out, "Eat up something for Trovus. He's been out patrolling again." And she comes over, plugs a couple of flagons of ale that she was carrying on a table. She's like, "There you go, fellas." And comes over to you and she's like, "Welcome. Welcome. Ali's the name. And welcome to the Northern Light, as was."
Thank you for having us. What's on the menu?
The usual.
I'll take 2 servings of that, please. I am
Aye.
famished.
We've got some soup on the go. That lovely sister of mine will bring it out, shortly.
Thank you.
Come
And
on.
I'll have a nice tall glass of whatever knocked out your speaker a couple hours ago.
Come here, Trovus. She links arms with him and guides him over to a chair near the fire where there's a table free. She's like, "Oh, all of you, please do join Speaker Trovus." And he's clearly been working very hard. And she slaps him on the shoulder as he sags into the chair. And you can see, very simple, rough-hewn wooden tables and chairs here, but very cozy, and the warmth of the fire crackling away in the hearth, and all the various townsfolk gathered here makes it a very, very welcome temperature and environment to be in, having travelled out in the blowing snow all day. And you all clump down into the chairs and sit yourself around this table. And Ali's there. She's like, "So, a glass of wine for the gentleman. For the rest of you. I haven't seen a Gallus in years. Welcome."
Oh, I'll just have something really weak. Maybe just some water, perhaps. I'm not really a strong drinker.
Well, water is about the weakest thing we've got, so
Anything warm would be delightful.
something warm. Yeah, no problem. Are you? She looks at your kind of patterning and your fur, Soyala. She's like, Are you that healer?"
Yes. My name's Soyala.
Well, I shall have to tell my sister. She was grumbling and mourning that you would never pay a visit up here. We'd heard about your talents down in the big fancy towns. You stoop so low as to pay us humble mountain folk a visit?
Well, we're here on our own business as well, but what ails your sister?
No, she's all right. She's just got a rather foul temper. I'm afraid I don't think there's out you can do for that. Hey, Josh.
Yeah, maybe not so much for that, other than, this weather we have. If we were able to change that, it would be nice.
I've kind of given up hope. This is the new normal, isn't it? Sorry, I'm gonna bail on that. That was too real. Abort.
Yeah, but a bit of sunshine would be nice.
Yes, it would, wouldn't it? So, you here to help Trovus with his troubles? Well, all of our troubles.
That's the hope.
We got nothing better to do at the moment.
Yeah, all of these bloody break-ins and robberies going round of late. Strange thing is, no one's witnessed any of the culprits. Only clue we've had is, some tracks in the snow heading up towards the mountain, up to Kelvin's cairn. They look dwarf-like, but I don't know. It's strange, They're the only folks that live up there. There's nobody else living up there, and maybe this endless winter's getting to them and all, and they're stooping to desperate measures.
What do you know of the dwarves that live there?
Oh, not very much. You should go and talk to Kess up at the outdoor supplies and the mountaineering supplies. she's the one that heads over there. Yeah, she heads up there to get the beer and brings it to us here. That's why we've never run out.
That's how you guys get it.
Oh, aye. Kess is a godsend. Godsend.
They didn't seem to have anything in Dinnerville.
Oh, down in Caernarvon. Ah, those poor buggers. Yeah, they're stuck down there. You know, trapped on the. I mean, you did a real good job getting up here. You're traveling. What you traveling by?
Dog.
Dog sled?
And everyone's like, oh, we didn't tie them up. Flash cut to outside. The dogs are just running, just running amok around the town. Just like.
They're fine.
Anywho.
No! No, not
Bon
Russian
Jovi!
people are still IPA. Wait!
It's like, yeah, why are you shouting out here? The bar's over here if you want to make an order. Anyway, she's like, she carries on. She's like, this endless winter must have made the dwarves desperate for food and ale. Although, surely they can't be starved for ale because that's where Kess is getting it all to bring down here. But I don't know. It doesn't sit right. You know, it feels weird that nobody's seen or heard the dwarves. I mean, a quiet dwarf. Yeah, that's an oxymoron, isn't it?
Well, when's the last time Cass brought you a fresh batch of beer?
Oh, it's been about 10 days ago.
And when did the thieving start?
It's been on off for a while.
Does it happen at any sort of interval, or is it seemingly at random?
Oh, random. Just
When was the last time that this occurred?
we lost the lantern last night.
Ooh.
Aye. It's just at that moment there's a crash as the kitchen door kind of swings open and slams back against the wall, and as it swings open, this stern-looking woman enters, holding a tray with steaming bowls of soup, and she places the bowls down in front of Trovus first, and the rest of you. She's like, "No dwarf did this. Some would have spotted him, caught him. Nah, there's something more going on. Besides, what use do hungry dwarves have for a lantern?"
That's a fair point.
What do you suspect?
I am inclined to agree.
So, I don't know what kind of beasties are lurking out there, young Tabaxi. But, and do you have names? I don't really comfortable just calling you that.
Soyala.
I'm Corey.
Oh, I'm Tone.
So yeah,
Mockingbird.
Tone, Mockingbird, Mammy. Ah, nice to meet you. Ali, what you standing around here chatting for? Get him drinks. You lazy sod.
I was gonna say it.
The soup took you long enough. Nah, shut up. Stomps back off to the kitchen.
Is the speaker still at the table?
Oh yeah, he's standing there. He's tucking into the soup now.
No, good stuff, Ali, as always. Yeah, yes.
Did he make any reaction when we were talking about the dwarves, or did he just not seem to care about?
Well, this has been the idea that's been rocking around town for a while, so
Ah.
he's like nodding along and like he's like agreeing, just waiting for the girls to catch you up.
So, Mockingbird.
Yeah.
Tone gets out his giant jug. Do you think this is a good time?
Let's get a couple drinks in him first. I think then you can really
People of
smooth it over.
Cairnconic, lend me your ears and your mouths.
Buy him a drink. Buy him a drink.
Anyway.
The speaker has already partaken. That was he was offered hair of the dog as he emerged from the snowdrift.
Buy him a second.
Now, actually, Trovus does say between slurps of soup, he's like, "Come, no, Ali, you should show them the footprints.
They should still be visible a little bit.
Oh,
And
yeah,
Ali's like,
yeah.
yeah, can do.
Did nobody think of tracking them?
It sounds like
We're,
they know
we're,
where they went.
we're not mountaineers.
Well, I mean, you have thieving problems, and you have footprints that you suspect are thieves leading off to somewhere. Just curious.
And Trovis is like,
Yeah. Young Mockingbird, I shall put this down to your inexperience of your youthful years, but you don't know how dangerous it is going out there. Alone.
I do.
and you,
matter
you,
of fact.
you think back to Goodmead and how the militia fared as they went off into the woods to try and sort the problem for themselves.
Fair point. Fair point.
He's
Well,
like,
luckily
he's like,
for you, we have a tracker right here, and I'll kind of like look towards Mame.
and Ali's like, oh, would you like to see?
Yes, I would.
Absolutely.
Oh, come on then, come on. And actually, she carries on doing so. She lets you finish your soup, and you kind of. Is there anything you want to talk about over the meal before we do this next bit?
Taking all bets right now. I'm gonna bet. Ghosts.
Ghosts?
5 gold.
That-
5
that's
gold,
a-
or
that's
some
a-
sort of phantom.
You
That's-
hear a faint voice echoing up from the Underdark from our Thursday lunchtime campaign as Jim Jar, the gambler, says, "I've got 5 gold on ghosts."
Ghosts? Ghosts? Any other takers?
Taking other bets too. Taking other bets too. What do y'all think it is?
All right, I'll call that bet, but it's definitely the Dwergar. I'm getting that 5 gold.
It's too easy. Too easy. I got a feeling in my gut. It's definitely not just dwarves.
I didn't say dwarves.
Off-color dwarves.
Wow, that's really racist.
That's not really racist. They're still dwarves. What do you two think it is?
I'll go
Soyala,
Colin.
Soyala, Toln says, what a fucking racist in Dwarvish.
She just kind of smirks to herself. Just shaking her head between the bantering.
No bets? Is it just you and me, Tol?
It's easy money.
Fair.
Well, I mean, we were already coming here for the Dwarger.
True.
There could be
I
more
didn't know that.
interference involved, but I think that would be of the Dwarger's doing.
Yes. I'm gonna assume that we were meaning evil dwarves, yes? Evil Durgar, who took Birel from you in her prime.
I still feel her warmth in my arms.
Oh,
Anyway, I think that's it.
Rip.
you're gonna make Patch cry in chat. So, you finish up your meal, and you get led out by Ali, and she has a quick break. It seems that everyone's got their food now, and everyone's just enjoying it, and drinking a bit slower as they're eating. And she takes you out, and you see to the back. He takes you out to the back of the inn, and you can actually see very faint footprints as they're gradually being filled in by fresh snow. And you see these faint footprints leading off towards Kelvin's cairn. Sorry, as you see this the slopes of the mountain starting to lead up almost immediately from outside the town.
Are they ghost-sized?
They are dwarven-sized, which is what has led to all these ideas that are knocking around town.
Ghost dwarves. Changing my bet only slightly.
You're gonna have to put some fresh coins down on that one.
No. But I think technically if it's ghost dwarves, then nobody owes anybody money.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah. How deep do they look? Are they still like trackable if we were to leave, now, or is snow falling? Are they being covered up?
You think they're kind of still visible here because they're kind of still amongst the buildings, like immediately behind the inn itself. And you think if you go out into the wilds, then it probably would be a bad situation. Excuse me. Yeah, out towards the mountain, out where it's snowing properly, it would be much more difficult to track them, you think? And Mama, you could second that. Ali's like,
And especially since the lantern was taken last night. It's been a while.
Ali says, well, it's getting on a bit already. If you want to stay here for tonight, if you're going to get our lantern back, and if you're helping out Trovus, bless him, then you're welcome to stay here. I'm afraid we can't offer much of a reward as far as coins or anything's concerned, but if you'd like a spot to stay, we've got a couple of rooms free.
Oh yes. I do have one more question.
Aye.
Is there anything of magical value left in the town?
Oh no, we only had the lantern.
Oh, are you sure?
Aye.
Is there anything like really expensive left in the town?
She looks around the little huts like clinging to the side of the mountain. I wouldn't say so.
I have no idea what they're going to steal next.
Well, there has to be some connection between the magically enchanted lantern and these pearls and whatever else was stolen.
Goats.
Goats. Perhaps the goats were magical, along with the pearls.
Aye, they were
Magical goats.
They were magical to us. We'll
Ghost dwarves, man. I don't know what they want.
We'll miss them. I raised those goats from kids.
How many goats were taken?
Sorry for your loss.
Two of the little darlings. I'm afraid there'll be no milk for breakfast. She rushes inside.
Small town folk are strange. So, do we want to set a trap? I'm no tactical genius, but maybe swing a magical item by by a chain outside the store and see if they take it.
I was planning on just using magic to see if they come by, but that works too.
I'm just spitballing. I'm no tactical genius, but
What kind of magic would you use?
Oh, when he gets out, just a moment. This one. And it's like a piece of chalk. And he says, well, if I draw in this this area, then I also need this. And he gets out like a tiny bell. If somebody comes in this area, then I'll know.
how big of an area?
It's like
can you draw snow with chalk?
It's I don't know, probably like a door or a window, or like, he puts his hands out, points in both directions, and it's about 20 feet, like that big.
So we set our bait in the middle of that.
We could do that, yeah, but they might be gone by the time we get there.
Well, I mean, it would be fresh tracks. I think that at least that's what I'm thinking.
That's fair.
Well, or whatever you have that's inside of that contraption. It makes a noise. We're alerted if we're nearby.
Well, I'm alerted.
Ah, okay. Then
Could
you are
also-
alerted. You can tell the rest of us.
That's
I
fair.
also do Trovus move and hide away from your alarm under the snow underneath my cloak, like a pile of snow.
Thing is, she said that these occurrences were quite random.
It might
We might be waiting for days.
Yeah, and that was
possibly
my
a
other
week.
concern. If they just were here the last night, they might not be coming back this night. They could, but
Well, I can set up
you
the
would
alarm.
have to get something to gain their attention within the night or wait till the next day?
I can set up the alarm regardless, but
Well, you need something to alarm.
I mean, I can
Correct.
alarm a door.
They could hit any house, any building, any storefront.
That's
That
absolutely
seems
true.
Yeah. So I think if we're going down this route, it seems like we need something as bait. That's just my thinking.
Has the speaker's house been hit?
No.
Also, we need to talk to the mountaineering supply owner, Chess, to see what he knows as well. She.
Yeah, I'm curious about those pearls. Maybe we should speak to her before we go any further down this rabbit hole.
It does sound like they know where they are. We could just go in the morning.
I worry with us creating too much of a distraction that it could alert something to us. Right now, we at least have the surprise of coming in the night.
That's fair.
I mean, we handled, if they are Duger, we handled them pretty well last time.
Did
I don't know. I mean, how many footprints are there in the snow?
One set, yeah.
Unless it's incredibly powerful. I don't think we have to be too worried. If it's an entire clan of dwarves or ghost dwarves, maybe. But I don't know. I think maybe we need more information. We're probably just grasping at straws at the moment.
Yes, we could try to see about the mountaineering shop. I don't know if it's too late. They've bedded down.
It was like afternoon, right?
It's evening now.
Evening.
I'm not
they
exactly
still be
sure
open?
when the shops close around these parts, but generally speaking, they usually close quite early, the further out you get from the city.
True.
All right. Well, I'm out of ideas, unless y'all have anything else.
So are you going to set this trap?
I would like to.
Tom?
How about just something small for now? Something we wouldn't mind losing. And if we get a better plan, then we can always disarm the trap and collect
Okay.
what we've used as bait.
Just spitballing pair of boots?
Or Gallus. They seem to be attracted to animals. Oh, I think
not-
Sabrina's PC'd.
I think no.
Or she's very angry.
Yeah, I'm not sure. equal chances of either.
It's not really a trap in the traditional sense. I just know if somebody gets there.
Oh, right. But, I mean, if we connect it to this building, right, then we're close enough to at least give chase.
True.
I mean, do you want to sleep?
I am capable of waking up in the middle of sleep.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying. All right, let's hypothetically imagine, and I'm just gonna point right at like the foot of the the back of the restaurant. We put an item here, magically enchanted. You put the alarm on it. Oh no, ghost dwarves have picked up the item. You wake the rest of us, and while they are walking their way out of town, quite slowly because they are either ghosts or dwarven and are impeded by the snow, we run to catch them. Nah, I'm just spitballing. If y'all got a better idea, then I'm all ears. Like I said, I'm no tactical genius.
Sounds foolproof.
Sick. All right, then let's do that.
Okay. So you get that set up. You start to where are you? Sorry, where are you going to do this? Excuse me.
That's a good question.
Huh? Is there like a sort of like a back sort of porch area?
Yeah, absolutely. There's like a little outhouse where they've got lots of wood stacked up for the fireplace.
Just point there. Or in the
Okay.
snow, if you'd rather.
Somewhere that's easy pickings would be better.
Okay. If that's what you want to do.
Tone, do you
I'll
have a
do it.
better idea? I am all ears.
I was just gonna say we go there tomorrow, but
All right, let's do that then. And I'm just gonna go inside and go drink more wine.
Okay.
well, that was easy.
Salt.
So no trap?
Sounds like no.
Okay. Alright.
Mockingbird's word
we
is
will
law.
check with the mountaineering lady in the morning.
Yeah, it sounds like they know how to get there.
They've traveled to the Dwarven Valley before. And Toln, you've been there before, but not from this direction.
Yeah.
You're just on the main road.
I'm still gonna alarm this door though.
Gotcha.
I was going to ask, yeah, if there was some way to alarm even where we, either this building or our sleeping quarters.
I mean, yes, I can do that.
Do you have a which door are you going to go for? The in tap room door or the bedroom?
Let's do the in tap room door.
Okay.
It's a ritual, so I'll just do it as a ritual.
Excellent. So you wait till the end of the night, yeah, and everyone's headed home.
That's right.
Mia.
Yeah, right as soon as you do it. We
It's
still
just
have customers.
constantly going off.
Ding 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 ding. And I am allowed to designate people who I don't want to set off the alarm, so the inn owners will not set off the alarm.
Gotcha. So, yes, Ali and Corey are just tidying up and cleaning up the glasses and sweeping up after the night's custom. And you're doing this, and you've told them that you're doing this, and they're fascinated and impressed by this display of arcane ability, and also generally fascinated by what you are, Tom.
I don't know either. Anyway, I'm going to get to work.
And Ali's like, yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's like just a walking suit of armor or something. And Corey's like, you got anything useful in there? You got a plunger?
I mean, kind of.
Oh, our house is blacked up. Could you
No, I can't do that because I have to put it back. And I don't want to do that.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no worries then. Right. Well, I'm off to bed. Hopefully they won't steal the bar.
Well, that would be impressive.
She clomps off up the stairs, and Ali's like, "Aye, me too. You know where your rooms are, right?"
Did they tell us which
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
were our rooms? Okay.
They've got you settled during the course of this evening. Yeah. So you set up the alarm, but not leaving any items, right?
That's right.
And you make your way up to the simple and fairly Spartan rooms, but nice cozy beds with good layers of furs and covers to keep you all snug during the night. And the warmth of the tap rooms kind of permeated up through the old floorboards and has kept these rooms quite warm as well. And of course, Mame is very cozy as she snuggles up with her Tressum. And you all bed down for an evening's rest. Thanks, Jaeger. Mockingbird.
Yes, sir.
Mummy, as you're sleeping,
Yes?
you have a strange dream. You feel like you're wandering, lost in like an inky void. There's no scenery to speak of. But you're aware of other people in the darkness. You can't see them. Just feel a sense of these various presences out somewhere in that darkness. And you wander, lost, looking for them, trying to make contact. I think at one or two points you think you glimpse each other, but then the darkness swirls and conceals you once more. But one thing that sticks with you, even as you wake the next morning, is a voice. A female voice that was calling out, much as you were searching in a similar kind of searching way. Hello? Is there someone else there?
Who is this?
Hello?
Hello?
Who are you?
I can feel something. Is there someone there?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello? And it goes on like that for a while. You try to make contact, both of you individually, and you can't hear each other either. But you try and reach out and you try and call out to this voice, but it doesn't seem to connect. It doesn't seem to be heard. And with that memory and a slight sense of frustration, you awaken the next day. And should anyone need it, that is a long rest for you all. Tom,
Well,
you
go ahead.
had your downtime, uninterrupted. Nothing came through the door.
Okay.
But as
You
you
get my spell
awaken,
back.
you realize why you've been woken. You can hear a voice. You can hear Trovis's voice booming outside in the town itself.
It's like, yes, it's only temporary. Everyone stay inside. Don't want to disturb. Don't want to disturb the evidence. Stay inside.
Oh.
Stay inside, everyone.
And you hear the voice coming closer. And was it the alarm? The same alarm as before?
Oh yeah, it's the same.
So as the voice gets closer.
Oh, sorry,
you-
sorry. No, it's a different. It's
okay.
That's a That's just an audio cue that I
Okay.
set up. This is a mechanical spell
Okay.
alarm.
Well, you feel it trigger as you hear Trovis's voice come closer, and then from inside the tap room, he's like,
Girls, are our guests up and about? Oh, yeah. Morning, everyone.
his voice shouting up.
Up and at 'em. There's thieves about.
Oh dear. Toln, not really needing to sleep, so he's not really groggy.
Mhm.
Jumps up and
Yeah, I think you've all had time to kind of like come to properly because you heard his voice quite a way off, and then he just moved across through
I
town.
checked my things, my equipment,
Okay,
anything I was carrying.
make way downstairs.
Oh,
Is,
well,
is everything there?
well, you've
Yes, so you're like,
you've stayed in the same place as Toln before, once before. So you would know that he's always awake when you go to sleep, and he's always awake when you wake up. He's just in the same spot. he doesn't really sleep. So if something had come in, he would have seen it.
Yeah.
He,
Yeah,
he
but
just
everything
sits
is
there
okay.
like that.
Yes, all of you.
I don't know
kind
what kind of powering off thing you do, so
yeah. Every kind of instinctively looks through their gear and everything is there. Don't worry.
one of those things where, like, you know, someone's sleeping but their
Yeah.
eyes are open. You know, I don't know.
That's fair.
And you, you all make your way downstairs and gather in the tap room, and Trovis is there, like stamping the snow off his boots. He's like,
There's thieves about, but looks like they didn't find anything interesting last night. There's some fresh prints, but none of the buildings were broken into.
I see.
I've kept everyone indoors just for the moment, just for a while, so we can have a look at them. Come see.
and he leads you outside, and he shows you around a little bit, and you see a single set of footprints, fresh footprints. And they don't go into any of the buildings. They don't go up to any doors or any windows. They just come in from the north, from that same direction, go around the town. So they go around that top loop, down to the docks, down on that southern side, and then along that bottom loop, back up near the northern light, and then they seem to head back out towards Calvin's camp.
Well, we found the tracks we wanted.
Are they the same size as the ones we were shown previously?
Yes. Yeah, but much clearer, much more defined.
We've got them. So, let's gear up. Let's go bag us some thieves. Old Trovis is gonna throw on those adventuring boots again.
Oh, do you still have the boots?
No, I wouldn't throw those out.
I mean-
Lucky boots.
Did they take them? Did they steal them? Did you
No,
make
no.
sure you... Okay.
Yep, everything's okay. Everything's okay. Mockingbird's boots too. Don't worry.
Thank goodness.
So, Tom looks at the group. Are you ready? I'm ready. I don't really have stuff.
Suited and booted.
I think
Well rested.
the quicker we get going, the better, just because these tracks do seem a bit fresher. I'm not entirely too sure.
Oh,
Was there a lot of wind or a lot of snow the night before when we were going to sleep?
Yeah, the average. So yes. Yeah, as normal.
So yeah, these would have to be a bit fresher then.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
like the middle of the night. Got it.
Mm-hmm. So you, yes, you gather your things and you're heading to Frozen Far Expeditions.
sounds like it.
Okay. Yep. Trovis comes with you. He's like,
Oh, I'm so glad you came into town. We're gonna, pool our efforts, and get our resources all in one bag. I don't know metaphors, but yes, we'll get them this time. And then we'll get the lantern back for the girls, and they'll stop nagging me about trying to find where these things are. So, go on then.
and he leads you round from. You can see, like in front of the Northern Light there's what clearly used to be like a town square here, where they used to sell the fish and things that they would catch more regularly. Now they're only catching for themselves. But he leads you round to the northwest there towards the Frozen Far Expedition. So you see this fairly decent-sized building on the edge of town there, with a crossed ice axe and shovel over the door, and a couple of sets of crampons hanging down on either side of the door, like an old pair that they couldn't sell, but as decoration and kind of indicative of the shop's trade. And you make your way up there, and you hear a yipping and the sound of sled dogs coming from that little building just next to it, as it seems that the owners of Frozen Far also have access to a dog sled. So, you're just gonna head straight in?
Wait, where
Yeah.
are our dogs?
halfway back to good meat.
Surprised I made it this far.
No. We just hand wave that. I'm not gonna penalise you for that. Nothing being said. They were tied up and looked after and at the Northern Light.
Well, let's proceed.
Okay. So, yep, you
I knock.
see here. He's like, Trovo's kind of pushes past you. He's like, you usually knock at shops. Just goes in the door.
This is a store.
Mm-hmm.
Who
And
do they sell to?
you duck inside and make your way inside the interior of this shop, and you just see piles of gear. You know, good big like long coils of rope hanging on pegs, more crampons. You know, a nice open barrel with various walking canes and ice axes and things sticking out of it, and provisions and rations and dry tack and stuff for the trail, and some kind of helmet-looking thing. It looks like a suit of armor's helmet, but it seems like it's it's for mountaineering rather than any kind of combat. And as you go in there, you see let's see here. You see a human behind the counter, just opening up for the day. And Trovus comes. He's like,
Attides. Morning.
He's like, all right, speaker. Not out patrolling last night?
No. I think we might finally be able to solve this problem. Might be able to get your pearls back.
He's like, oh, lovely. Thank you. What do you be wanting? And he looks to the rest of you. Morning. What can I get you?
Well, we're actually here about information.
I think we were told to meet with Cass.
Oh, yeah, aye, no problem. And Trovus is like,
Yes, we want a young guest to help us guide for and track these culprits, these dirty thieves. We'll find them.
and Atenis is like, aye, all right, no problem. Kestrel, dear, can you come down? And there's like a loft space up above the store, which you can see like furs kind of hanging over the edge of and stuff. It's clearly some kind of living area. Then there's a ladder leading up to that, and a figure, a dwarf, a female dwarf, clambers over the edge and down the ladder, and she turns and looks at all of you, and she looks fairly rugged. She's got kind of short cropped, fiery red hair, and it looks like she knows her way around the mountains and is clearly being guiding folk around these mountains and the wilderness for a good while. And she slides down and stops. Morning, all.
Oh, good morning.
Mummy. Mockingbird. You've heard that voice before. That is the voice you heard last night in your dream.
I'm gonna look at Mame and see if she kind of recognizes the same thing.
Do I recognize the voice?
It's the same one from last night, from the dream.
Good.
Hi everyone. And Trovus looks to her and is like,
All right, Kestrel. Now, we think we found tracks of these thieves, and we're asking if the town will requires your services, and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna find them and bring our stuff back.
and she's like, No, can do. Aye, no problem. What else do you all need? Do you need any gear? Where are we headed?
Well, I suspect we're headed up into the mountains to find the dwarves live there.
Oh, have
Yes,
you got gear
I-
already, or do you need out?
Well, what
I have
exactly
winter
do you
gear.
need?
If we're going up into the mountains, we'll need rope and crampons to stop us slipping on the ice and keep us tethered together in case there's an avalanche.
Just a second. I'm gonna roll on that one. If you don't mind, John.
Please do.
I have rope, but that's it. I do not have the crampons and other things. Although I don't know how that would exactly work with my feet.
They probably send you like some kind of wrapping that you could wrap around your feet first, and then strap on the crampons. Or your little beans might do the same thing. Who knows? Got tabaxi beans.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder if I have enough grip. I don't
Or
know.
your claws. How'd you get on?
What am I rolling? Just a straight? Let's call it wisdom.
Yeah.
Just a wisdom check is a 14. I'm thinking for a moment, probably Mame notices. I think she has the highest perception or passive perception.
Yes.
That at the mention of an avalanche, Talon's face, well, his face is quite static. You can only really see the expression of his motion from like the dilation of his eyes, and his eyes just like dilate out, and he stares off into the distance for a moment, and just goes quiet while the rest of the group is talking.
Yeah, there's definitely. So Yala, what's your passive perception? Sorry.
17.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
you,
yeah,
you would see.
yeah, definitely.
But it lasts for about 10 or 15 seconds, and then he just like
Zones out. Yeah.
shakes himself back.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we.
As you do, you see that Kestrel here is calling to you. She's like, sir.
Yes.
Do you mind if I fit you? And she's like kneeling down by your feet.
Go ahead.
And Trovus is saying to the shopkeeper, what's his name again? Atinus Swift. He's like, yes, this is town business, so put this on the tab, would you, Atinus? He's like, all right, Trovus, I will. And so between Atinus and Kestrel, they get you fitted with crampons, which you get and stow them away. You don't need them immediately, but once you're up into the mountains, that would be quite important. And
I don't think I would need them, right? I don't think. With the Winterland boots, like I ignored difficult terrain with them.
And yeah, actually, Kestrel kneels down to fit you, and as she sees them, she's like, I've heard of these. And she stands up and looks up at you, Mockingbird. It's still pretty short, even after she stands up, and she looks up at you, and like furrows her brow for a second, and shakes her head and moves away.
As she's moving away, I'm just gonna try to telepathically kind of communicate with her, like I can do with Mame, and just see if she picks up on it.
What do you say?
Hello.
There's a clatter as she drops the set of crampons that she's carrying. And Atinus is like, Kestrel, are you alright? Are you up to doing an expedition out? And she quickly stoops down and picks them up, and she's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm sorry. And busies herself getting some gear ready, and she stays away from you, Mockingbird, a little bit, as she's, you know, as such as she can in the confines of the shop here. But she's, you know, quickly just gathering all the different bits of gear that you need together, and she's loading up the sled, which she'll use for herself and for Trovus as well. And
How long will the travel be to the mountains?
It depends how far we need to go. If it's on this side of the mountain, then a few hours. Hopefully we can come back in, get back, you know, before night. Although, if there's going to be a good number of us, we should be all right.
Okay.
And you, she actually suggests that you go and get your sleds ready while she gets the gear together, and you actually drop back down to the Northern Light and get all the dogs sorted and bring the sleds over, and all the various bits of gear and supplies are loaded up, and before too long you are ready to go. So Kestrel looks to all of you. She's like, well, shall we?
Yes, let's go.
Yeah,
I suppose I'm as ready as I'm going to be.
Okay, so let's have a look here. Where are we at? Okay, so yeah, all of you get into your normal positions. You know, normal driver, normal passenger. Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so you'll jump up onto the sleds. Yep, Mockingbird.
Yeah, we've had a switch since the last time I was on I was on one of these sleds. Who am I with? I was with Gato last time, I believe.
So Yala, do you want to go with Mockingbird?
sure.
Yeah, because I cannot handle animals.
Oh yeah, I
At all.
can.
Yeah, so Sayala's driving for Mockingbird, and then Mame's driving for Tolm, and Kestrel is driving for Trovus. And you unleash the dogs, who are doubly excited, just even more excited now that they've got these new friendos to go charging through the snow with. And you have your 3 sets of sled dogs as you slide out of Caer Konig and head north towards the... Hang on, this wind is too noisy. Calm down, wind, calm down. Okay. And you start sliding swiftly across the snow, following these distinct shaded depressions that you can see with your night vision quite well. Although Kestrel will be okay. Actually, yeah, Kestrel and Trovus will be okay as well. So everyone's got their night vision, so you don't need to put torches and things. Is it Mockingbird with no night vision?
That's correct.
Yeah. So Mockingbird, you're just like hunkered down in your furs on the sled. You know, you're sure they'll tell you if something's up.
Can take a power nap.
Indeed. So you are quickly making your way out of town, following these tracks, and you can see. Let's have a look here. Excuse me. Yeah, you follow the footprints, and after a quarter of a mile, so it's not a huge length of time. After about a quarter of a mile out of town, Kestrel, pulls back on the reins and stops the dogs on her sled, and Mame, you and Soyala also do so, and you stop the dogs and get them calmed down, and you jump off the sleds, and do we have some kind of magical light for Mockingbird, or are we going to do a torch?
I'll spark a torch.
Okay, so you do that, and everyone kind of looks away for a moment, and then as they get accustomed to it, they come back round. And Mockingbird, as you hold up this torch, it's okay. As you hold up this torch, you see in the snow an interesting state of affairs here. The footprints from the town lead up to a different set of tracks. There is some much larger footprints, and then 2 long lines, as if a sled has been pulled, and you can see the footprints go between these two long lines, as if this larger beast is pulling this sled. And the smaller footprints, the dwarven-sized footprints, stop here.
And we all see this, or just...
Yep, let's put this perfectly visible.
So this would have been them changing to their larger size. If they are the larger. At least the ones we came across, they changed the size.
That is true.
And they were known to have carts as well. Well, not them directly, but they had carts.
Yes, Mammy, they are not axe-beak footprints, do not worry.
Yeah, they're not actually.
Mammy, if you'd like to do a survival check, you can have an investigation of these footprints.
I've actually done a bit of that myself. Can I help
Absolutely,
you, Mom?
absolutely.
I'll just give you
T4.
advantage. I was just gonna give advantage. I'm not
Okay.
gonna roll.
Just roll again and see if you get a nat 20. Sabrina,
I roll again.
please.
Just to see if you get a net 20, because I'm giving you copy.
You'll do the help action then. Thank you. Okay. 24 is very good, regardless. So, you look around and you look at these footprints, and you recognize these footprints because you have seen them. Cheers, here's Andy. You have seen them before, back near Goodmead, as these are to you unmistakably ogre footprints.
Seems we have some ogres around here.
Okay, what if we're both wrong?
Who gets the money?
Oh, just throwing it in the snow.
Ogres to the area?
Say again, sorry.
I addressed Cass if she knows if ogres are normally in this area.
I mean, rather than ogres, I'd be worried about Yeti and the like. There is a family up on Kelvin's cairn. I stay clear.
Of Yeti.
Aye. They live
But
quite high
not
up.
ogres.
I haven't heard much of ogres around these parts. No. They're more over towards the mountains. You know, the spine of the world. There are some goblin bands and orc bands in the mountains there, and ogres are often hanging out with them.
Well, I guess just keep an eye
Looking
out.
at these tracks.
Sorry, should turn the dogs off.
Well, I guess this makes ogre tracks.
Aye, well, and Kestrel says, well, these will be even easier to follow.
That's what I thought. Well, looks at Mountain nervously. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, and you're just surrounded by just the white snow, just stretching out as far as you can see in either direction. Broken here and there as like an outcrop of rock breaks through and juts out of the drifts, but the snow out here is full on. It's like you're not on any roads or anything here. You're just heading straight across country towards this large mountain. And actually, one thing that you can see as you're getting closer is that Kelvin's cairn isn't like a single Mount Fuji peak, as we've kind of described. Yeah, that's what you've seen from afar in the glimpses you've had at midday on the various days. But as you're getting closer here and you actually start to see around you a bit better, you can see it's actually quite broken terrain. There's lots of jagged foothills and peaks leading up to the mountain itself. And these tracks are heading up between some of these dark, jagged outcroppings and heading up into kind of little valleys, a little valley that snakes its way up towards the higher ground of the mountain itself. And Kestrel's like looking up at it. She's like, it's strange that these tracks would be going around this side of the mountain. I mean, it's well known. There's now round here. I mean, there's all the dwarfs in the Dwarven Valley down on the south side, but there's nothing up here.
John, out
No
of
reason to check it out.
Aye. Yes, Mockingbird?
out of character, was it this general region where there was that lycanthrope thing, that whole thread, or was that somewhere else?
The
Were Yeti.
The were Yeti?
I think it was a
Where
Goliath.
Goliath?
Where Goliath, yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, the expedition that was looking for that Where Goliath did say they were heading to Kelvin's Cairn, yes.
Okay.
But
Mockingbird's
that was from the
kinda
other side.
thinking about that.
Yeah.
Oh, other side? Okay.
Let's put you on the Icewind Dale map, actually, so we can get a bit of a kind of geographical.
Pull up my Google Drive notes. It's on there somewhere.
See a moving ice? Nope. Kelvin's Cairn. Hello. So yeah, that expedition.
They're coming from Targos to the summit of Kelvin's Cairn to find
Yes.
Oya Minatok, a Goliath lycanthrope.
There you go.
That's what I wrote.
Nice. So yeah, Targos is way over in the west there. Sorry, everyone, bear with me as the Roll20 catches up and gets this beautiful map ready for you. At least we get all the landmarks. So yeah, Targos is way over there, so they would have come from that west side towards Kelvin's Cairn, up through the Dwarven Valley, whereas you're on the east side here from Caer Konig.
Okay.
You kind of get the feeling you're kind of looping around the northern edge of Kelvin's Cairn.
I'll just mentally cross that out then.
Wait, Roll20, get yourself sorted. Now. Oh, damn it. Sorry, my computer is trying to cope with doing everything all at once. It's like, here we are with Discord and Streamlabs and Roll20 and Syrinscape. La 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 la. Everything all at once. Okay, so although I tentatively upped the bitrate on the streaming here, so if we're looking even more beautiful than everyone than normal, we are coming at you 500 FPS faster. Okay, and it doesn't seem to be dropping frames. So yeah, this new doobie that I got sorted is working nicely. Excellent. Dare I go even higher? Dare they see us in full HD? Okay, so anyway, excuse me, I'm waffling away to myself here. You are ready to get going again? Yep, you can jump on the sleds again. Straight on just on the dogs themselves. Just ride the dogs.
Can I ride a dog?
No, you may not. Also, you may not ride the wild boar from your little bag of tricks either. As I was watching back that episode a while ago. It's like, you can't ride that, surely. The elk, yes.
Mm.
It has to be a size larger than you. Okay, so you are medium-sized. So anything large or larger can be ridden.
I'll note that down for future.
I think actually,
Sure.
like two medium-sized creatures can ride a large beast, because like a riding horse is a large beast, and two people can ride that. So, hey, there's the map. Sorry. Welcome.
In this system, is a Gallus a smaller size than a regular human?
I mean, short, but still a medium creature,
Okay.
I believe. So,
I'm 4 feet, same size as Tolan, but lighter.
yes, yes. So not so bulky. Okay, so as you jump back onto the sleds and start racing through the snow once more, you are following these tracks. Now, this goes on for quite some time, and as you get closer to the mountain, the ground becomes more broken up and the snow becomes heavier, and I'm afraid that after a decent while, they become buried. and very difficult to follow. And I need a group survival check, please.
20.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, 19.
24.
Okie doke.
Cool.
Sorry, hang on. So let me get these numbers here so I can get the average. So that was 19
Yes.
and 24.
Yep.
Very nice. Mami?
17.
17. Okay. Mockingbird?
17.
17. Okay. Kestrel does this with advantage. Here we go.
Massive sneeze.
Okay, so she gets a dirty 20. This is looking very good. And Trovis. Even Trovis gets a 14. Alright, so. Yep, that's a nice average of 18 and a half, so rounding down to 18. And the DC was 15, so you do a very good job of finding and following these tracks, even though the ground is broken up and difficult to navigate through. Now. At one point, as you're slowly making less and less headway with the dogs, as the ground becomes more and more broken, and there's more jagged rock coming up around you, and it makes the travel much more difficult, and you get to the point where the sleds are no longer usable, and you need to abandon them. And so you stop the sleds for a while and take the time to tie up the dogs to the sleds and get them all situated there and out of the direct wind. You kind of get them behind an outcropping of rock and get them all secured and snugly tucked away there, as you know, Kestrel and Trovis help with this as well. And Kestrel says, I'm afraid it's on foot from here, although it can't be much further. We're almost up against the mountain itself.
Well, let's try our best, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And with Kestrel and Trovis in the lead, you start trudging out, and Kestrel kind of turns to you, Soyala, and she's like, You've got some good eyes there. You come up front.
All right.
And she turns to you, Mami, and she just turns to you and she's like, oh, and Mami, and she, you know, she's twigged that you're a ranger, and you know the way that you're comporting yourself. If you could watch the back for us.
Sure, no problem.
Now, interesting thing there, Mami, is she just turned and just said that to you without thinking really. The rest of you did not hear that, as she mistakenly, just kind of naturally, without thinking, just like with her guard down, she actually said that in your mind, like Mockingbird tried to say to her before. How did you reply? Did you reply out loud or the same way?
I think I replied out loud.
Okay, just assuming, because she hadn't said anything before.
And I just like stop for a moment and just be like in my mind like, what just happened? What? Okay, so you start trudging, and she doesn't seem to realize she's done it. It was just like a spur of the moment, just like guard down, mistaken thing, and she straight nods and she turns, and Trovis kind of looks strangely because she just turned, looked at you, Mami, for a moment, and then nodded satisfied and started heading off. And Trovis is like,
Yes, right, let's go.
and you'll start trudging up. And whilst you're sorting the dogs, getting everything secure, you've put those crampons on as you're getting into kind of thinner snow here, because it gets blown off the rocks and the ledges here as soon as it settles, and you're dealing with much icier conditions here. And at Kestrel's idea, you do rope each other together in case there's a sudden landslide or avalanche, and you start to make your way further up through the looming rock faces of the edge of Calvin's cairn itself. And beyond these snowy foothills and low-lying clouds that are kind of hanging around the bottom of Calvin's cairn here, you make your way up into the passageways and gullies, following Kestrel's and Soyala's keen eyes and keeping a track of where these footprints, these ogres' footprints, are headed. And again, here and there, Soyala, now you're starting to see those smaller footprints again, as clearly the sled was no good for them either. But there's been no sled discarded around here, so you think the ogre must have slung it on his back or something. And they've just started walking ahead of you. And you follow Soyala, Kestrel, and Trovis up into these jagged gullies and broken rocks. And eventually, you come across a sheer mountain wall. Thoroughly unnatural in the way it's just smooth and just straight up. It's rises up more than 100 feet up above you. And carved high up on this surface, you can see rows of arrow slits cut into the rock, and there are lights burning behind them in the darkness as you approach. And as you get closer still, you can hear clanking noises coming from inside.
But we don't see anyone at the arrow pointed.
No, this is still quite a way away. You can just make out the small pinpricks of light. You can see the lights shining through them, which makes them stand out.
Everyone else, as I see that first, like there's signs of life here. Everybody be quiet.
Yeah, you kind of duck around, and you're still a ways away, and you can see that where this little gully that you've been following ends, a staircase begins that's been cut into the rock itself, and it leads up one edge of the wall up towards this unnaturally smooth, creature-made edifice, which I can show you.
Well, I don't like this at all.
Good. Ta-da.
Don't know if we want to go right up to their main gate.
Kestrel looks about. There's nowhere else to do it. And there's no other approach. It's just sheer cliff face to either side.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't even know where the entrance exactly is.
You see on
right. It's right
see on
there.
the left side. You see the stairs zigzagging up on the left side.
Ah, I see it now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then where's that line of arrow slits with the lights behind them? That's where there's like a ledge. It looks like there must be some kind of entrance there. I'm not sure which of these is which of you. Sorry, but that's what you look like as you're wading through this deep snow, following the remains of the ogre and dwarven. Can I just start saying dwargar?
Yeah.
the dwarven, not dwarven, sorry, the Durgar and the ogre footprints that are, forging a path ahead of you. And would you like to stealth up to this construction here?
I'd like to try to stealth up.
Okay,
I'm gonna need both of these dice.
Oh, with disadvantage?
Yes.
Yay!
Could be
Kestrel also has advantage on this one. Oh no, sorry, she doesn't. But she's got +6. Come on, Kestrel! Not great.
It's an 8.
An 8. Okay. And... Oh, sorry, 2 seconds. Excuse me. And...
Gotta have disadvantage on stealth.
that, and... Oh! A dirty 20 for Trovus. Trovus is back into his adventuring swing. He's like... do. Okay, so that was... I got those. Okay, and Mockingbird?
24.
Nice. Rogan it. Mami. 11. Okay, and sorry, did I get yours, Suyora?
It was 12.
12. Thank you. Okay. Not terrible. It's an average of 15, which is pretty good. And you trying to, as much as you can, kind of stay out of sight of those arrow slits, and you're like clinging to the side of the rock face, using your cloaks, which are very similar coloration. Which Kestrel, when she was outfitting you at the store, said that the style of the cloaks was designed to kind of blend in with the snow in case you come across any predators, like Yeti or the like, because hiding was a better chance of escape than running. And you're slowly making your way up, spreading out a bit further, as Kestrel thinks it's probably safe to unrope here, and a concentrated group of people walking together would be quite conspicuous, but if you're a bit further spread apart, this might be doable. So, you creep along the bottom of the cliff face and onto the stairs, and quickly zigzag your way up to the top, and find yourselves here. I can find you. Where are you?
That's a good question.
Yeah, bottom.
There we go. I found you.
Middle. Yeah.
Sorry, chat. There they
That's
are.
a lot of darkness.
Well, it's a solid cliff
Oh
face.
my goodness.
Okay. So, here we have the group of you, and you have crept up to this ledge that you can see here, and we do this here. All right. Now, I'm not sure if Sunblighter is still in the chat there, but everyone, welcome to Castle Sunblight, which is an in module name. This is not me matching our dear viewers here. So, yes, you are there. Hello, welcome home, Sunblighter. This is Castle Sunblight. And you find yourselves perched on this precarious ledge, and you look directly ahead, and as you can see there is that arrow slit immediately overlooking this ledge, and you can kind of make out through the gap there into the room beyond, but there doesn't seem to be anyone. There's nobody in the light there. Mockingbird, can you see?
I was about to interrupt you when I got a chance. I cannot see anything.
Okay, are you going with the torch?
Would I be able to see without it?
Inside maybe, because you saw there was light out from the windows.
Well, John, I have a relevant question.
Please.
The Unearthed Arcana came out. So should I change over to that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Then Taln takes off his goggles and hands them over to Mockingbird.
Ooh.
I've seemed to had an upgrade recently. I don't know. I don't really understand it. Anyway, you need these more than I do.
Yeah, there was as you woke up this morning, there was a strange kind of whirring, clicking, and something clicked into place that hadn't, like some mechanism or something that hadn't been in place before.
Yeah, that's right. So now I have
What does that do for Mockingbird?
oh, that's the what's it called?
Dark vision?
It's dark vision. Yeah, I don't know what the actual ability is.
Can you give me the numbers?
Yeah, I got it.
Put that
I
on this
was
token.
editing my character sheet.
No bother.
It's the Goggles of Night.
Goggles of Night.
It is
Suitably roguey.
Dark Vision 60.
All right. Here you go, Mockingbird.
Though my
Ta-da!
Dark Vision is reduced to 30.
What was that? What's reduced to 30?
My Dark Vision's 30 now.
Ah,
Does that help you then?
thank you for these.
There you go.
Now
And
it can
30.
stop blinding us, and I'll just
Oh.
extinguish the torch in the snow.
No worries.
Kind of leave it sticking out of the snow.
And Tom, this is your new one. Boop.
Hey.
Which I think,
Oh,
right
goodness.
where you are now, probably is not a huge difference, but there we go. Okay, so you find yourself here on this ledge, looking up at this arrow slit and doorway in the surface of the rock. So where is here? Okay. Excuse me. So yeah, moving east from the top of the stairs leads you to this entranceway that you've found here, and you see those 10-foot high double doors of featureless stone. You see the whole design of this place is very, very simple. There's no decoration.
Oh, I was
No.
mistaken. Oops.
What you got?
It's 60 feet. I was mistaken.
Okay, that's what I didn't say.
Yeah, go ahead.
And yeah, there's no ornamentation or any kind of design in the stonework here. It's just very simple, very functional, and you just see these featureless stone doors standing closed to the snow and wind, and the arrow slit facing in your direction, guarding the approach. But from what you can see, there doesn't seem to be anyone inside. What would you like to do? I believe you will have your characters to play with. Please,
Well,
just stand still, Tom. I'll get that vision for
Well,
you.
before we go any further, what exactly is our plan here? It sounds like there is way more than we were probably originally planning.
well, there's nothing we can
I
do except continue.
It was a much smaller group, but by the sounds of and by the looks of this place, there's gotta be more.
They could also still be invisible.
I wouldn't
That is
worry
one.
about that so much, but
Yeah, if they're home, I doubt they're keeping that up, so to speak.
I think we have to conduct our raid now, as it were.
Cass, how long do you plan to stay with us?
Oh, I'm here for the duration. This is exciting.
Okay, well, we have come across other Draugr before, and it was not a pretty sight. We lost one person along the way.
Oh,
They're quite fierce with a mental magic, magic, I guess.
okay.
I'm not sure what it is, but we have to be careful.
Aye. Right. Well, I'll watch your back if you watch mine.
Yeah. We also had seen that they changed sizes from a small dwarvish size to a larger, probably to an ogre in size.
Really?
Possible.
Sounds frightening.
It was.
Right. Well, let's be as quiet as we can, eh?
So our goal maybe is to find possibly where they are hiding these items, listen in on any conversation,
Aye.
try to be as quiet as we can, and sneak out when we can.
I guess it depends on what we hear.
And Trovis is like,
Right, so we shall through the doors then.
Or if these are the Dwergar, Drugger, we do know that they're trying to do something not so good.
aye.
They're trying to, make their own kingdom here.
Their own kingdom.
That's right. That's what one of them said before they died. They said they wanted to make their own kingdom. In the
We can't have any truck with that. We need to get some evidence or something to find out what's going on. We can take it back to the 10 towns and rally the troops.
You have troops?
I mean, we're just little islands of light in the darkness, but when we all come together, we can be quite fierce.
Fair enough. So, baby steps then?
Let's go.
So, Trovis steps up to the doors. Anyone coming with? He looks around nervously. Like, oh.
Yeah, this is something entirely new to Soyala, so she is a bit hesitant and
Okay.
very cautious going forward because she's hasn't done anything like this before.
Yeah. And good to a word, Kestrel is sticking close to you, and kind of looks over and kind of nods reassuringly. Oh, we'll be all right. I just made myself nervous saying that.
Let's go.
Don't kill her, DM. Don't kill her. Oh, that's me. Okay. So, Trovis and Mockingbird at the doors there. You kind of lean on them, and they budge ever so slightly, but they are firmly closed. It seems like there's no lock on the outside, no like keyhole or anything. But Trovis like leans into it a bit, and he's like,
These are barred from the inside. Is it you magic lots? Can you do something? What's that one called? There was we had a wizard with us back in my day. What was his name?
"Where are you?" Sly Flourish. I'm gonna do first name off the bunch.
We had a wizard back in my day when I was adventuring with a party.
God, he's not got the Yorkshire accent. Sorry, sorry, Patch. You infected me from chat there.
We had a wizard in our party when we were adventuring, and his name was Pike Spiritbane. And he had some spell that he used to open locked things, locked doors and the like. What was it called? Knock knock?
We tend to go for a more direct approach, and I pull out my crowbar.
Yes. Soyala, do you have a crowbar?
Please
afraid
have a crowbar.
there's one very, very specific level of entry to this group.
I don't know if I do. Maybe I don't.
Mame just kicks you off the stairway.
Bye.
Unbeliever.
I have utensils.
The
I
crowbar crew.
could try something.
This would have been noticed earlier at Frozen Fire expeditions, that you would have been ceremonially gifted a crowbar and welcomed officially into the crowbar crew.
Didn't know this was a thing, but okay.
Okay, so you you lean into that mockingbird, but I'm afraid, and I'm sorry to be the bringer of such dread news. It does not work. It is not enough.
We'll try. We'll take a mage hand. And we'll run the mage hand around the wall, just touching the wall as we go.
Okay.
And we'll use the mage hand to try to feel around and see what this obstruction is.
Okay.
I think it's within 30 feet if I stand like right next to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 would be this square here, so that'd be 30 feet.
You talk about like on the inside?
Yeah, so just like run the hand.
Probably, I
Along the
don't
wall.
think you're aware of what the mage hand's touching. You can't sense.
Oh, okay.
You can't sense what it's touching, I'm afraid. That's a good idea. Sorry, but
You're just
yeah.
pulling up as you go down further.
It's like,
This arrow slit section right here, is this something that can be traversed in any way, like climbed or vaulted over, or is this just
no,
a
it's
wall?
just a tiny slit in the rock face.
Mm.
I mean, you can see what you can see through it, but that's all I'm afraid. Actually, maybe I should probably read that to you a little bit, because as you peer through, let's see here. Yes, as you look through, you can see this room is illuminated by some braziers of glowing hot coals over on the wall that you can see, and there is a floor-to-ceiling iron cage, which is that square thing you can see there. Let me move the chat over so they can see it too. There it is. There is a floor-to-ceiling iron cage in the middle of the room, and there are chains running up and down inside that, and the chains are constantly moving. It seems to be the sound of this kind of clanking sound that you heard before. And you can hear loud mechanical noises higher up the shaft and further down as well. And then you can see a double door beyond that. And I think as you're trying to figure out the doorway and stuff, and Mockingbird, you're keeping an eye in there, you see this platform with a kind of gate fence kind of thing around it come rising up out of the floor inside that cage and stops briefly. And the gate on the side just kind of automatically just opens, rolls off to the side. And then after about a minute, that closes again and it continues rattling up through the ceiling and up to the top.
I'm gonna whisper back, we've got an elevator in this room.
Fantasy elevators confirmed. Travis might
No
be
way
really
to-
proud. Okay, so yes, there is some sort of contraption used for transports between layers, it seems,
So
that you
then
can
how
spy.
do we access this?
If I kind of like stand on this ledge right here and kind of peek around, kind of like, holding the wall, is there anything?
Very, very
that I
careful.
can- Yeah. Kind of.
You can just see that flat expanse of the front of the fortress just stretching out. You can see those tiny arrow slits just in view on the kind of angle that you've got there, but not very much now. Now,
That's about all I can do.
as you're kind of standing there stumped, and you're like, what can we do? What can we? And Trovis is like,
Oh, come on now. You don't have a wizard?
I don't have the knock spell, no.
Oh, rookie mistake.
I'm also not a wizard.
and as you're standing there, kind of nonplussed, thinking, what should we do? What should we do? You hear a creak and a thump of something moving. And then you hear... Sorry?
In front or behind?
Mockingbird, you hear it mostly through that arrow slit, out of sight round the corner. And then you hear a grating, scraping stone-on-stone sound from within the doors. Trovis, Tom, you especially. And after a short time, those doors shift slightly and move out. And
We need to move.
you can see that they're slightly ajar now.
That's concerning.
But convenient.
And then you hear a kind of creaking, grating metallic sound from inside. And Toln, if you and Trovis are there, and you kind of peek through as you were trying to work on the door here, you kind of peek through the open door, and you see this tiny little vestibule on the inside. And as you look through, you catch just the end of a portcullis. There you go. As it rattles and scrapes. And as the door creaks open and that portcullis rises up into the ceiling, the front door of the castle is opened.
As I said, we should be moving. Probably away.
Tom,
Yes.
you get the first view here as you look through, and you can just see that beyond this tiny little area of the door and the portcullis as it's disappeared up into the ceiling, there is an empty room with a narrow opening at the far end, which seems to be the way into the castle. And there is a western wall. On the western wall, there is an arrow slit.
Tolm kind of steps through the door, getting a better look. He says, "Oh, this is definitely a trap."
Trovis is like,
No, we must be careful.
Yeah, but it's the kind of trap that you know you're walking into, but like you have to walk into it anyway. It's kind of sucks. Anyway, let's go.
so you step through that doorway there.
Yeah, he's gonna be looking out to make sure there aren't any, mechanical traps.
Okay,
As
give me...
opposed to
Some
the...
a touch of resistance. Just for right now, because I'm feeling a little
nervous.
unsure what's going to be coming at us.
Indeed. Okay. So, Mockingbird, you and Toln are at the front there on point, so do you want to give me a perception check?
Wisdom-based skills. Hold up. Yeah, that'd be a solid 2, Captain.
Gotcha.
Tolm got you just the 16, so...
16? That's not bad. That's not bad. You cannot make out anything on the floor, no pressure plates or like little slots where arrows can fly out or anything apart from the arrow slot itself.
well...
Looks like we have a room.
Tolm is gonna go, alright, I'm going in. Don't let me die, I guess. And he's gonna hug this wall.
Okay.
Do the same. Oh, there's nothing on the right side.
The rest of you? What are you doing?
You guys, anybody following, or
Yeah, Trovis.
are we baiting?
Trovis will come through and stand next to you, Tom. So yeah.
I'll just have my go out here.
Yeah, I'll go through, I guess.
Okay. You step inside, and Kestrel is following too. And Mockingbird, hang on there a sec. Go back next to Mummy, if you would.
Okay. So yeah, you all just kind of stealth in, keeping to the walls. You can hear kind of voices and things echoing off, which we can hear in Syrinscape there. Far off, deep within the interior. And as you step into this room and all of you start moving in to the room, you suddenly, Ton, you loudest as you're right there, next to that arrow slit from the opposite side, behind that arrow slit, whatever room is through there, you hear a female voice.
No, bloody hell! To arms! To arms!
And you hear, what's going on? And you hear various voices echoing out from that room, whatever's beyond that arrow slit there. And you hear doors banging open and footsteps running. And we shall stop there. So, here we are, across the threshold into Somberlight Castle. And we shall see what the Duergar have in store for us and what's going on here, hopefully, when we come back. See you too. When we come back next time. So thank you so much for everyone. It was great to have everyone in chat. Some blighter themselves as we come to Sunblight Castle. And thank you so much. Thank you for the follows and the subs today. That's great. Thank you so much. And it's always great to have you here joining us for these stories. Now, we shall be back next Tuesday to delve deeper into the castle here after we fight our way past this first line of defense. But before that, we are not done this week by a long shot, as on Thursday, Wednesday evening in North America, we have the continuation of our Out of the Abyss campaign, where certain circumstances have meant that this next session will most definitely be very, very dramatic. Do not miss that if you can join us. And later on that same day, we'll be into Barovia with Curse of Strahd. And finally this week, on Friday, we have Descent into Avernus. Then looping back around to next Tuesday, we will be back in Icewind Dale, inside the Duergar Fortress of Sunlights. So, thank you, dear players. Good to have you back. I missed everyone last week, and thank you so much. Interesting to explore more what's going on with Kestrel. So don't let her die in this first fight. There's the story to explore there. I suppose telling myself that, shouldn't I? And we shall be jumping back into this next time. So, do stick around, dear viewers, as we shall go raiding and pay this love forward. I think there might be a couple of interesting streams here. Someone here called Play Multiverse is doing some world building at the moment. So let's jump over there and see what's going on with them. So, after we say our goodbyes, please stick around and send those phoenixes flying as we go over and say hello to these new friends. I haven't seen these people before, so I look forward to giving them a look. So, thank you everybody, and we shall see you next time. But until then, as we like to say around these parts, oyasuminasai. Thank you everyone. Bye.
Oh yes, me.